They promised veterans a $7,500 benefits boost, but Jasmine Crockett just called the whole thing a political stunt. And honestly, her full statement might just change how you see this whole situation. All right, let's get into it, because this is one of the most heated moments on Capitol Hill we've seen in a while, especially when it comes to veterans' benefits. If you're a veteran, a family member of a veteran, or you're just someone following all the twists and turns around federal benefits and stimulus payments, you're going to want to hear this entire breakdown. So, in this video, here's exactly what we're going to cover. First, what is this $7,500 VA benefits boost that everyone's talking about? Where did it come from? Who was supposed to get it? Why did it get pushed so hard in Congress? Then, what exactly did Jasmine Crockett say that's got everyone fired up? We're talking full statement, no filters, no political spin. And most importantly, is there any chance this payment is still happening, or was it never real to begin with? Let's start at the beginning. Just a few weeks ago, Congress announced a proposal that would deliver a one-time $7,500 boost to qualifying veterans receiving VA benefits. The money was intended as a cost-of-living support bonus. Lawmakers said it was needed because veterans living on fixed incomes were being hit the hardest by rising inflation, rent hikes, and soaring medical costs. The proposal was tied to the 2025 defense spending package, which, let's be honest, was already packed with all sorts of unrelated programs and political wish lists. But here's what really grabbed headlines. The White House came out with full support for the $7,500 boost. Press conferences were held. Social media exploded. Veterans groups began emailing their members telling them to watch their bank accounts. And that's when Jasmine Crockett stepped in and flipped the entire conversation upside down. During a live committee hearing last Thursday, Jasmine Crockett stood up and said what a lot of people were probably already thinking but didn't have the platform to say. Her opening line, "This $7,500 VA boost isn't about helping veterans. It's about helping politicians get reelected." The room fell silent for a second before she continued. This bill is being rushed through without a proper funding source, no long-term strategy, and zero guarantees that similar payments will happen again next year. It's a one-time, flashy check, timed perfectly for campaign season. That's not how we honor our veterans. And she didn't stop there. Jasmine went on to call out both parties for playing political games with veterans' benefits. She said this proposal was designed for headlines, not for real, lasting change. Her next words, "Veterans don't need short-term band-aids. They need consistent, reliable, fully funded benefits that don't rise and fall based on which way the political winds are blowing." You could see some members of Congress squirming in their seats. Some tried to interrupt. Others tried to shift the conversation back to defense spending, but Jasmine doubled down. She pointed out that over the past decade, VA funding bills have been delayed, underfunded, and used as bargaining chips in budget fights. She gave examples of how mental health programs for vets have been gutted, how housing assistance for homeless veterans has been slashed, how wait times for VA medical care are still way too long in many states. And then she said something that's now trending on social media. You don't get to starve the VA for years and then show up with a one-time check and expect a thank you parade. Powerful, right? So let's back up and talk about where this $7,500 boost was supposed to go. According to the original proposal, the payment would have gone to all veterans currently receiving VA disability compensation, VA pension, or survivor's benefits. It was meant to arrive automatically, no application needed, and was scheduled to drop sometime in late July. But here's the problem Jasmine Crockett pointed out. The funding source was vague at best. In the fine print of the bill, the money was supposed to come from reallocated defense funds and temporary budget adjustments. Translation? Nobody knows exactly where the money's coming from. Some analysts even warned that pulling this $7,500 out of thin air could lead to cuts in other VA programs next year. And Jasmine was quick to highlight that too. In her full statement, she said, "What happens next year? Are we going to take this money back by cutting mental health services? Or are we going to slash job training programs for vets? You can't spend money you don't have and pretend there won't be consequences." So naturally, this set off a full-on debate. Lawmakers who supported the bill said Crockett was being too negative. They argued that veterans need help now and that this one-time payment was the fastest way to provide relief. One senator said, "Would we prefer a permanent increase? Of course, but that takes time. This $7,500 check can help veterans stay in their homes and keep food on the table this summer." Others echoed that sentiment, saying something is better than nothing. But Crockett wasn't buying it. She responded, "Veterans don't need something. They need everything we promised them." And here's where the conversation took another turn. Jasmine Crockett introduced her own amendment. Instead of a one-time $7,500 check, she proposed adding that same amount, spread out over 12 months, as a monthly benefit increase for all VA beneficiaries. Her idea? A $625 per month boost for 1 year, fully funded, fully transparent. But, predictably, her amendment didn't get the votes it needed. Too expensive, too complicated, said her critics. So where does that leave the original $7,500 plan? As of today, the bill is stuck. It hasn't passed the Senate, it hasn't reached the president's desk. And with every day that goes by, more lawmakers are backing away from it, especially after Jasmine's scathing critique went viral. Veterans groups are now split. Some are demanding Congress move forward and pass the one-time check immediately. Others are siding with Crockett, saying they'd rather see permanent benefit increases, even if it means waiting longer. And the American public? Well, the internet is blowing up with opinions. Some say Jasmine is brave for speaking the truth. Others accuse her of blocking much-needed relief for vets. But no matter where you stand, one thing is clear: Jasmine Crockett has forced a conversation that Congress has been dodging for years. The bigger question now is, will this spark real change? Jasmine ended her speech with this line: "Our veterans kept their promises. Now it's time for us to keep ours." And honestly, that's the kind of statement that sticks with you. So, for everyone wondering, is the $7,500 payment happening? Right now, it's on hold. The fight over it is far from over, and Jasmine Crockett's full-throttle push for permanent VA benefit reform is gaining steam. If you want to know what her next big move is and how this battle plays out, click the next video popping up on your screen right now.